Good morning, fellow travelers. My name is Ember Aeternal, and welcome to my channel, Spritforgecoaching. I'm here to do a general reading today. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but if it does, take what fits and leave what doesn't. If you'd like a personal reading at some point, please contact me at spritforgecoaching@gmail.com. Let's get started. Spirit, please give us the wisdom required to navigate our lives with dignity, grace, and truthfulness. We have the Six of Wands. This is public recognition of victory. Rewards after a struggle. Generally success after a struggle. So the wands are about action, the will to manifest, and passion. Can be about sex. Not seeing sex here yet, but who knows. Let's get obstacles. We have the Emperor in obstacles. So the Emperor is generally an architect, and I don't mean that literally. I just mean that the Emperor builds in the physical world. He's an authority figure, and when I say he, I mean male energy, masculine energy. He can be dominant or domineering, depending. He indicates powerful influences, but with this being in obstacles, these might be domineering, overbearing influences. Let's get supports. We have the Ten of Wands. Wands again are about action, the will to manifest, passion. The Ten of Wands is generally about a heavy burden, exhaustion. But with this in supports, I think this is a heavy burden that you are very much equipped to handle. Let's get subconscious influences. I think you're able to handle this Emperor and Emperor energy. I don't know if this is a person or energy yet. We'll have to see with the cards coming up. Subconscious influences. We have the Queen of Coins. So coins is about prosperity, abundance, fertility, grounding, centeredness. It is the slowest moving energy in tarot, and wands, by contrast, is the fastest moving energy. Coins are connected to earth. coins are also pentacles, and wands are connected to fire. So the Queen in subconscious influences. So with this on top of the Emperor, with the Emperor in obstacles, I'm thinking that this is gain after a struggle, especially with the Six of Wands as you as the significator, as the person that this is about. The Six of Wands is all about success after struggle, public accolades for... I just had a brain fart. Whatever this was that is going on with you, it's public, and you have been rewarded for it, or at least what is the word I'm looking for? I'll come back to it. But the Emperor, I think the Emperor being an obstacle, this is somebody in authority who I think doesn't like, maybe you beat this Emperor very publicly. And with the Queen of Coins over here in subconscious influences, I think this is, this was your struggle. This Emperor or Emperor energy was your struggle, and this is your gain after the struggle. So you're gaining some sort of abundance or prosperity, grounding, centeredness. We'll find out more with more cards. Let's get ego. We have the Eight of Swords. You are... I'm not going to take both of those. You are blinded in some way. The Eight of Swords is all about self-restraint, being caged by one's own actions or thoughts. But with this being swords are connected to thought, the intellect, communication. So this is about being caged in one's own mind, there's some sort of rigid thinking going on here that is blinding you to something. Maybe you're blinded to the fact that you actually did succeed. And maybe it's due to this Emperor energy here. Let's get conscious influences. We have the King of Cups. Cups are about intuition, emotion, and connection. Can be about community. The kings are the masters of the energy of their suits. So consciously there is mastery of connection or emotion or intuition. But they're next to the Eight of Swords, there may be some sort of emotional instability going on, especially on top of this Ten of Wands. This Ten of Wands is in support, so you have this, you are fully capable of dealing with this heavy burden here, but I think it might be causing some emotional instability. And this is connected to this rigid thinking that's going on that has you caged, an inability to think outside the box. Let's get past influences. I get the feeling that this Emperor is critical of you and possibly even jealous or envious. I think you defeated the Emperor in some way. Past influences. We have the Hierophant and the Knight of Swords. So the Hierophant is generally about tradition. About traditional ways of moving through the world. Can also be spiritual advice from a traditional standpoint. Like, think going to a Baptist or Methodist pastor or minister for spiritual advice rather than a New Age priestess. That's more along the lines of what the Hierophant means here. And then you have the Knight of Swords, who is the knights are the messengers of the suits, and swords being about communication, intellect, thought. This is an actual message, and I think there might have been a disagreement here. Disagreement with traditional ways of thinking. Disagreement with traditional spiritual advice. So let's get current circumstances. We have the Nine of Coins. The nines and tens are mirror images of each other. The nines are potential. Coins, also known as pentacles, is stability, prosperity, abundance, fertility. So I think it looks like this disagreement with traditional ways of thinking has brought about some sort of contentment for you, some sort of happiness. But it's like it's tempered by this rigid thinking, this tendency to get stuck in one way of thinking. Let's get future influences. Those should not be upside down. And I'm not going to take all three. In fact, I'm not going to take any of them. We have the Seven of Wands. Wands are about the will to manifest, action, passion, sometimes about sex. I usually get adventure here, and I'm not seeing anything to indicate otherwise. Perhaps you're developing an adventurous spirit due to this these unsteady emotions. I don't think these emotions are all that unsteady, but I think maybe they're coloring how you view the world right now, especially in connection to this penchant for rigid thinking. Maybe you're going through a midlife crisis. Whatever this is, it's an important message. I need to get the outcome. We have the Chariot. So the Chariot is generally about sustained effort to win. It can also be about being pulled in a couple of different directions. You see how the horses are shown facing different directions. I think there is someone or several someones in your life who all want you to do different things. And this important message coming to you in the future is going to help you decide which way to go. Whether it's the way one of these, and I think you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in your life who are trying to get you to do different things. But you're going to get an important message that's going to solidify which direction you go. You may go in a 6th direction, 7th direction. You may not go in any of the directions that any of these people want you to go. But whatever this emperor wants, and this is a person, he's an authoritarian figure. He's very domineering. I think he's getting in your way. And I think I suspect that this disagreement that you had about traditional values, traditional ways of thinking, traditional spiritual advice is somehow connected to him. Perhaps you have some rigid thinking about it, like you do not want to even consider the traditional spiritual advice because there's some of it that is connected to the way he is domineering and authoritarian. So most likely you're going to end up going with the advice of this Queen of Coins or this King of Cups. And I think this Knight of Swords is just a messenger. I think he's just bringing you these traditional ideas and you just don't agree with them. So I think you're going to lean more toward the way this Queen of Coins thinks, or this King of Cups thinks. Let's get overall energy. We have the Eight of Cups. Cups are about intuition, connection, community, emotion. This is an indication that you're walking away. You may be walking away from all of it, which, with the Eight of Swords being in your ego, tracks. Rather than, it seems that rather than take into consideration all advice, you're walking away from all of it and just doing your own thing. It seems that you're absolutely tired of other people. It's like this advice is unsolicited. Like you weren't searching for it. They're just deciding that you need this advice, whether you ask for it or not. And that is possibly one of the reasons that there was a disagreement with this Hierophant and with this Emperor. Yeah, you're sick of the advice. It feels like a burden, and you just want to go your own way. So that's what you're choosing to do. However, I caution you against rigid thinking, about getting stuck in one way of thinking. There is advice from this Queen of Coins and this King of Cups that you need to consider. You don't have to accept it, but you need to consider it. So let's get 3 cards. These are balancing factors, unknown influences, and suggested improvements. What? We have the Ten of Arms. In other decks, this would be the Ten of Swords. This can be defeat, despair, or a major life change. Not necessarily bad, but it can feel bad at first. You see how this person has all these swords in their back? Yeah, I think this Emperor is someone who would stab you in the back, which would cause a major life change if there's somebody who's important in your life, or has a great deal of influence in your life. Let's get unknown influences. No, I saw a card here. There it is. So we're getting unknown influences. We have the Six of Arms, which is the Six of Swords in other decks. This is an indication of travel. So I think that's what this important message is about, is you're going to have the opportunity to travel. Let's get suggested improvements. We have the Six of Zent reversed. Zent is coins or pentacles in other decks. Excuse me. So sixes are generally Six of Pentacles, coins. Zent is generally about abundance, but this is in reverse. So there's a lack of abundance going on here, a lack of prosperity. Let's get overall energy. We have the Ten of Zent in reverse. Zent is coins or pentacles. So the nines and tens are mirror images of each other. The nines are potential, tens are actual. Nine would be material well-being, contentment, which is what this is. This is current, but in the future, you're going to have this energy of lack of abundance, lack of prosperity. And it's because there wasn't a plan for the future. And I think it's all centered on this rigid thinking here. You don't want to think outside the box because of this Emperor. There is some traditional spiritual advice that you need to take, but there is a disagreement that you have with part of it, so you don't want to take any of it. And because of this, yes, you're going to have this this sustained effort to win, but at what cost? Okay, let me go back over this. You're walking away because, yes, because there is no plan for the future. You're walking away from all this because there is no plan for the future. You are currently content, but you will receive an important message that will give you that boost for a sustained effort to win. You have an emperor in your life who is overbearing, authoritarian, whom you don't want to listen to. But they do have some good advice. You need to step outside this rigid thinking here and parse out what the good advice is versus what the bad self-serving advice is. Because this emperor is very definitely self-serving. But that doesn't mean that all this emperor's advice is bad. But because you are so at odds with this emperor, you are feeling a little emotionally unsteady whenever you deal with this emperor. So only deal with the emperor in small doses and take this burden that this emperor causes. Remember that you have succeeded publicly against this emperor. take this heavy burden that you can handle and turn it into prosperity. Now, if you allow yourself to stay in this rigid thinking, you're going to enter this energy of not having anything in the future, and you're going to stay there until you get out of this rigid thinking. And remember, just because you have a sustained effort to win doesn't mean that you will actually win. There's some things that are at odds here. This is at odds with this. This is public victory, and this is lack of planning for the future. Yeah, this disagreement has you stuck in one way of thinking. But this important message, I think this important message is going to get you out of it. Yeah. So pay attention to the important messages. Pay attention to all the advice and decide which piece of advice will help you best move forward with your life. In other words, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, if that makes sense. So I think I'm finished. If you like the way that I read, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can be informed of all my content whenever it is posted. And I hope you have a blessed day.